Merry Christmas, everybody. This is coming very late, and I know it is. I got busy over Christmas, like anyone else. I thought I wasn't this Christmas, but I ended up getting busy over Christmas. Anyway, so I'm just going to fart around in my factory for a little bit, and thanks for joining me today. Oop. So, my biggest complaint, I think, is that they messed up the snow. I mean, you got to get within what, 3 feet of these things to get them to work? I recall them working a lot better in previous iterations of this. So I threw a bunch of these around, right? And yeah, same thing. And I got all my settings on ultra, so it's not a settings thing. It's kind of interesting how the lighting effects looks a little better at nighttime. Anyway, I don't know. But I pretty much got this all set up from last year. I was throwing snow machines around. They aren't really doing the job. I mean, they're kinda. I tried doing like a two-tiered thing, and I just yeah, within about 15 feet works just fine. I don't know. I was trying to find something that I could do this year, like over and above. Um, there's really nothing. They haven't really put anything new in it. I thought they might. Anyway, this is my Christmas land. Um, I'm sorry, uh, but your snow sucks. I don't know what happened to it. It used to fall quite far, and now it doesn't even fire up. And I have everything. Like I said, I got everything set on fire and all the rest of that fun stuff. So it doesn't matter. Oh well. My candy cane lane leading out to it. Anyway, I was gonna go see what the calendar had for us this year. I haven't been logging on because I've been waiting for updates. I was thinking of doing like a ceiling in here and putting in a Christmas effect for this year, or at least maybe sprucing it up with a couple trees or whatever. Um, I gotta go hook up snow. Okay. Anyway, as you can see, I haven't really done any Ficsmas data cartridge. Well, that's kind of new. I'm playing around in my factory because I'm waiting for my wife to. Now, should I try to do these in order? Wow, this is always kind of the fun part of the number 2. Hmm. Now, of course, I haven't looked up where they all are. So I might get a couple out of order. Where's number 4? Ficsmas MAM research. Okay, very cool. Mixed Nut, how you doing? Golf guy. Happy New Year to you too, bud. Hope Santa was good to you over the holidays. Number 3. There you are. Okay. Thought I already had that one, but oh well, we'll take it. That would be number 7. I got number 4. Number 5. Number 5 is alive. I got number 6. Number 5. Pulse Nobelisk. I should have loaded up the basic Christmas skins. Okay. Number 7 was right here. Hang on. I gotta load. Great. Perfect holiday. Awesome, dude. Change tape. A very Christmas. A very Merry Christmas. We were on 7, so 8. We stayed home for the most part, went to my dad's, had some dinner. That was great. That was good stuff. It's always good to see my dad. You think I'm an old fart. My dad's an old fart. So that's 13, but I'm at 7, 8. I need number 9. Did you get out and get to see some family, golf guy? 25, 18. You know what? Maybe I should just click these. Yeah, but then I'll get out of order and I'll get all mixed up. Number 9. And it's been a while since I've been on my factory here. Number 10. Ooh, the Ficsmas hat. We got to put that on. Right here. Got to have the Ficsmas hat. Yeah, sure. Good enough for me. Number 11. 21. There's 12. Yeah. We didn't do a lot of gift giving. We didn't do a lot of because the kids are way off in the other end of the country right now. So number 12. Ooh, a new. Okay, well I already got a very Merry Ficsmas. Number 12 and 13. I've completed this Ficsmas thing 6 times now. 5 times. I've done the Ficsmas. Ooh, I get 25 tickets. Yeah. I just got busy. Golf guy, to be honest with you, I got very, very busy I thought I wasn't going to be busy at all, and then I got busy. I did up a bunch of videos on a game called Upload Labs so that I had something, coming out for the channel. And I had live stream plans for Christmas and all this, and a lot of it just didn't happen. I was up and down on video calls with the kids, like Zoom calls with the kids and stuff. And I just sorry, but streaming kind of took a secondary to, FaceTime with the kids. And then I ended up on a stream at one point in time, and then the kids called. Because I'm like, oh, okay, we're good. The kids, what I mean? And yeah, and then they did call. Gifts are cool. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, stuff, I don't need stuff. I got stuff. I don't need more stuff. Where was I? 12, 13. I need 14. 15, 17, 23. 16, 18, 24, 20, 22, 18, 19, 25. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of these, 24. But where is 14? Don't tell me. Don't want anybody to blow it. This is always kind of the fun time of the year. Huh. It's hiding. It's not very often, but I have actually had to look up where numbers are at times. I have had to do that. Once in a blue moon, I've had to do that. Not very often. Wow. Huh. But that's all good. Are you going to make coffee? Oh. We're going to play some Icarus. I just wanted to sit down and do something and then have something for my... Have you seen my factory lately, Golf Guy? Wow, where is 16, 18, 15? So 15, 16, 17, 18. I haven't seen 19, 20. Hang on. Is that 18 or is that 18? That's got it. Okay, so that's 18, 19, 20. I haven't seen 21, but 22, 23, 24, 25. But where is 14? Where did it go, George? Where did it go? Huh. I might actually have to look that one up. Wow. 15. Ooh, more rocket fuel. Okay, give me 2 seconds. 16. Premium Ficsmas skins. Okay. 16. 17 was the other one. I'm not sure where that one is. But 18. Board leftovers. Okay, I don't recall having that tape. Board leftovers. Okay, gotta change tape. 19. Screws. Okay. Not what I was expecting. Oh, 17. Forgot that one. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. Oh, some nuke. Oh, God, they gave me a nuke for Christmas. Okay. Your lump of coal. They always give you one lump of coal. Always have. 22, 23. It was right on the trigger. Hey, some health. After the nuke, they give you health. Good job. Oh, fresh factory trinket. Right on. I think that's new. And fireworks. Okay, I'm missing 14. Huh. Like I said, I might actually have to look that one up. They hit 14 real good. I'm just not seeing it. Just not seeing it. And I'm not going to spend all day on this. Ha. Couldn't see it. It was like hiding right on the edge of that. Couldn't see it. So, one. Gonna run through them real quick and then I'm out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Where was 13 again? 13. 14, 15, 16, 17. I wish I would have had time right on Christmas to do this. 18, 19, 20, 21. Where was 21 again? 21, 22. Pretty sure I got them. 23, 24, and 25. Okay. Feeling pretty good about it. Interrupting previous measure. Okay. Alrighty. So we just got like generic snow happening here? Because I don't have any snowmakers over here. Alrighty. Anyway, so the factory floor. Hang on, I'm just and for anyone else who's going to come and view this later on. Well, actually, I guess it starts in the basement, doesn't it? There's not very much going on down here. This is just a couple of mines and some very raw commodities. Of course, I put the elevator in and my exploration vehicle sits there. I guess I should have put, colors on it. Where's my Christmas patterns? Skins. Ficsmas. Oh, I can't apply it to this. Bummer. Invalid customization target. Oh, well. So anyways, that's ground floor underneath the factory. So this factory is, if you count, not including the bottom, by the way, not including the basement, it's a little over 1 million square feet of factory. So it's huge. It's a monster. Parts of it don't load correctly anymore. So at the beginning of the video, I showed my Christmas area. So I'll just do that real quick. Not really happy with the snowmakers. Sorry. They used to work a lot better. I have my stuff turned on ultra, and those snowmakers up in the ceiling that, wrap around the lights and whatnot, they should be throwing a lot more snow out, and they do when you get close to them, right? But it's still not the same. I went back and looked at videos that I did in previous Christmases, and the snow is way better. Drops, like, for a lot longer. This, as you get down away from it, even after you turn them on, they slowly start to dissipate, and then they don't work no more. And the snow doesn't fall farther than 10 feet. So anyway, yeah, I put a bunch of snowmakers in, thinking, this would make it snowy and Christmassy and all the rest of that. And yeah, if you're standing within, 10 feet of them. Yeah. But anyway, so my Christmas area is done, by the way. It's finished. All my present makers, leading into, basically the beginning factory. How many hours? 398. I have it set up on a dedicated. Because I wouldn't be able to run it on mine, plus streaming and everything else. And the immense amount of stuff I have coming in on this factory. Yeah. But the space between each pillar is 10 blocks. So each one of these is, basically including the pillar, it's like 12. Okay, but just imagine 10 blocks in between each one of these, in case you're wondering about the size. 4 16-car trains bringing in commodities and such into multiple stations. I have 4 stations down here. Some of them handle multiple trains, like this one handles multiple trains. So it's got to wait for the previous train to get out of here before it can get in. All right. I'm not using main 4 right now, to be honest. There's nothing happening in main 4. But the 3 previous, so the Desert Loop and whatnot, all that stuff is running trains. And I eat up just about everything that comes in. I mean, just about. Most of this is raw commodities into, say, ingots, like smelting departments. There is a little bit of power going on down here. I needed to burn off water from the aluminum process. And so I stuffed it into a bunch of coal plants. And they just run. You know what I mean? They're running off of, petroleum coke. But they just run. Otherwise, the aluminum factory is like huge. It creates a lot of aluminum. Oil, all the rest that's coming into the base. My logistics floor is my pièce de la résistance. I was supposed to run, and originally I was going to run all the pipes on the ground floor. I didn't think of it until after. So that's why some of them are on the main and some are down here. Yeah, I know. I'm not too happy that the poked through, but oh well. So the plan was to have all the belts run from the floor going east and west, and from the ceiling going north and south, so that when I crisscrossed, they were organized. Because my previous one of this, it was not organized. I mean, it was total chaos down here, and I actually, to be honest with you, I didn't really like it. But in order to move stuff around the factory floor, I use a logistics level, right? Like, it's just one of those things. Yeah. So this is how I get everything back and forth, because on the main floor of the factory, it's belt minimal. Like, my crane. I actually built an overhead crane. I was going to, and I never got to it. I was going to put like an assembler in the, of the crane. Like, I was going to put an assembler in there on the evener, and have it moving an assembler back, like I'm constructing something. And then the building below it, I was going to like half construct it. So, but I did get a bunch more of my streets going. I really wanted to showcase these colors too. I really wanted to do something, build a building around it or do something with that. I got a couple of them. But my streets. So this was what was supposed to happen. The floor is lava. Okay. There's new achievements too. So this was supposed to be my streets. Sidewalks on each side, and then intersections with traffic lights. You know what I mean? And then the other way, you're just going to have red lights. And I was going to do a blueprint of it and then, smack it down and then have, just the odd vehicle sitting around. This was supposed to be a roadside cafe on a hotel. And so each level would have its own balcony kind of deal with some windows and all the rest of that fun stuff. And to be honest with you, I just got busy and every time I build in this game now, I don't know that I can show you the flickering. I started to get maybe they've figured it out. I was getting like screen tearing and flickering and huge graphical errors. Maybe they got it figured out. There you go. So yeah. My game started doing this. And it started doing it everywhere. Okay, yeah, it's coming through. So it was doing this everywhere. Like everywhere. Like the game, it didn't even look like the game anymore. The longer I would play this and the longer I would be on this server and the more I built and all the rest of that, yeah. It just got nuts. But yeah, my battery with a biofuel complex in the below of it. My coal is off in the distance. And then my fuel factory is over on the other side of this mountain range, on the other side. And the, the nuclear facility. So this is, this is the fuel factory. The coal plant is over here. And then the nuclear plant is over here. And I built that just basically covering all of this. I found a nice flat spot off on so I could use and abuse the water and whatnot. And then the fuel factory is quite large. It's quite huge. But yeah, I had a lot of fun until, like I said, until that screen tearing or whatever you call it, basically graphic glitches. And the more I build, the more it got bad. I'm waiting for 1.2. And then when 1.2 comes out, I'm going to make a decision as to whether I'm going to keep running a server on this, just for me, and keep building on this factory, or whether I'm going to restart. The contemplation is to restart and play it with a bunch of other people. That's the contemplation anyway. So I don't know whether I have no idea which way I'm going to go with that. I was hoping a friend of mine, Bucko, would come join us. There's a couple other people I know that own Satisfactory. That way anybody in the channel can come and visit, and it'll be like an open server. Come for a bit, come stay a long time, stay a short time, kind of deal. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, this has become like I said, I haven't built anything today, other than a couple of snow machines in the snow area, like in the Christmas area. But as soon as I started to build, hey, Dathis, as soon as I started to build large structures, that screen tearing that I was showing you was just too much. It didn't make sense to play the game anymore. So I'm hoping, like I said, that right there, and it was happening everywhere. Like the whole, not just parts of buildings when I have it at a weird angle. I mean, the whole game, the whole factory was doing this. It was, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking of doing a dedicated, basically for, friends of the channel, people that have been around for a while. And then leave it on, leave it up, leave it run. I mean, I had plans for these areas, you know what I mean? Like there was all sorts of things I was going to do. Just stuff, things. I don't know. I had plans for this place. And then, and then graphic errors. So I'm waiting for 1.2. They're supposed to do, they're supposed to be, I don't know. They're supposed to do a lot of fixing of problems and issues, large scale. Kind of like what Factorio's done along the way. They went from, I'm not going to say not good, but you know what I mean? A lot of problems and issues to it running really smooth. So I'm kind of hoping that, we'll do it the same. Anyways, that's yeah. I was gonna do a whole Christmas area in here for this live stream, but then I got on and the snowmakers were like I'd have to have them 10 feet above my head in order for the snowmakers to do anything. So that kind of I don't know. So this is everything in the factory, Golf Guy, that's running. I don't have all of it filled out. I once again, little projects along the way that just never got completed or never got done. But notice how I don't have anything, like I'm not making 10,000, turbo motors or, I didn't make a 20 million screw factory or anything really weird. That one's supposed to be a Christmas card. What happened to you? Customizer. Yeah. That was supposed to be a Christmas card. Anyway. Is that still the leftovers? I guess so. Anyway, I don't know that everyone wants to see anything else on this today. Like I said, the minute I start building, you'll see those graphic errors off in the corner. And I've tried to get rid of them. I've tried dozens of different settings, upping and downing the DX or which DirectX I'm using. I've tried all sorts I've looked it up and I've tried. It seems to get worse when I build, which is why I stopped building. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it'll settle out. Maybe they'll do an update. Maybe they'll, maybe. And it just hasn't happened as yet. Also, building can be a bit of a bitch in this. Because you push the button to build, and then you gotta wait. And then it builds it. That might have worked out a little better. Yeah, I think I agree, Gathis. I think it's the engine that needs upgrading. I agree totally, dude. I think it, I don't know. Anyway, I had a lot of fun building this one. This took me, just about 400 hours of playtime to build it. And I went like a lot of blueprints, you know what I mean? A lot of blueprint building in this, so it's fast and quick, and I had everything all calculated in a Satisfactory calculator. And then Deathus helped me out too. It was actually his idea for the fuel factory. I mean, I built it my way, but you know what I mean? Like it's. Yeah, 5.2, 5.7's out. Yeah. So they need to upgrade it. I agree totally. It needs a bit of a. Well, I was wondering what they're going to do for 1.2. I mean, all I've heard is hints. You know what I mean? That they're. Oh, come on. Why do you keep rising up? I want you to come down. There you go. Down, not up. Down. Yeah. Well, I'll eventually come down. There won't be any choice. There we go. Huh. I cannot get this thing to come down. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have view distance on huge. So they have no excuse for the snow. It take more time, yeah. Standard. Oh, for the machines. I'm gonna say half and half. We'll come down. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll show you in about 2 seconds here. So power. I had that somewhere, don't I? Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe not in this factory. I thought I had it written down somewhere. Maybe I don't. My consumption's pretty low because I don't have everything turned on in the factory. The plan for this factory was actually another friend of mine, Pyro, that I played this with. When he built the factory, everything ran. Each belt was at maximum capacity or close to, and everything ran. Like all the belts, everything ran. That's the way this place is built, but I couldn't do it. Once again, I was running into mass issues. I transferred it over to a server. It helped. I built more, and then once again, mass problems. I can't have everything running all at once. So, anyways, my max consumption sitting around 100,000. I produce about 158. I consume only half that, right? Because I just don't have. I got half the machines turned on, and then of course my capacity is up 155. But that's due to the nuclear plant. That's not this place. But I got everything all fused and, oops. So this is, believe it or not, golf guy. This pipe. Let me go get to it. This pipe is one oil node. It's a pure, but it's one oil node. The black pipe coming in. The other pipe isn't even hooked up. There's only one pipe coming in. So it's this whole entire facility and all those fuel gens and all this all runs off of one oil node. The whole entire thing. That was the concept that Death has brought to me when we were playing and goofing around and whatnot in this. So it's, basically oil into, whatchamacallit fluid. Add some water in a blender. You get fuel. Add, whatchamacallit to it. Sulfur and coke into compacted coal, and you get turbo fuel. All right. Turbo fuel in huge quantities. Like huge quantities. All right. And then you put her back through a blender and you get rocket fuel and a bit of compacted coal. You got to swoop that back into the system. And then you run the whole thing off rocket fuel. And the whole point behind that is that they are higher. They run more power. More power on less fuel. Right. So that's why I have as many. Yeah. One pure. Yeah. This is one pure oil node. Now, of course, we had to mix sulfur and coal into the mix, which we bring that in. And then we also have to bring nitrogen gas in and iron ore, right? And then make this pipe, which is nitric acid, right? So, I mean, there's some additives to it, right? But Yeah, that's one singular oil node. That's it. That's it. That's all. One singular oil node. That's all it is. It's kind of fun, right? And then I think I got a better. Not absolutely sure. My nuclear factory also runs off of one node. The fuel part of my nuclear factory is fully built. So that means I'm making enough fuel for, would it be 3 times? Okay, so I got 14 nuclear power plants running. I'm taking care of the waste, all the rest of that, turning it back into plutonium fuel rods, and then selling the rods. And just whatchamacalliting them, sinking them. Okay. And I could use those plutonium and then turn that around and use plutonium, but I just didn't feel like going that far, at this point. Yeah. See, I got 14, but I'll show it to you here. Just because you haven't seen the factory. I do quite a few factory tours when I'm doing this. I did a full factory tour my last, whatchamacallit. But seeing as how you haven't seen it. So I dressed up some of my train depots, had a little bit of fun. This actually goes off of a look. It's loosely based on a look that that buddy of mine, Pyro, did. So yeah, kind of neat. I don't know. David, how you doing, buddy? I think that's the line I want to be on. Big delay. Okay. Howdy, howdy, David. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hope your holidays were good, buddy. I started this one out showing off my Christmas stuff. And I was going to do this big thing, and then I got into it, and I noticed my snowmakers, well, they weren't really tossing out snow. And I was going to do a whole snowmaking thing in my main base, and no. The snowmakers might throw snow for 10 feet, maybe 8 feet. And so I started to adjust settings, trying to make it go even further. No. So I figured whatever. And I might actually have to turn this stuff down again. I'm starting to know some lag spikes on this. I was going to do a lot more over Christmas, but ended up doing a bunch of stuff, which was really cool. Well, I guess I did do a stream or two over Christmas, but I was going to do more. And then I was going to do a New Year's stream, and then I was going to do a Christmas Day stream, that kind of thing. And it just never ended up happening. Or longer streams, I guess. A better way to say it. Out of the nuclear. I gotta wait for Mixed Nut to get back. It's actually Golf Guy, but yeah, I gotta wait for him to get back. Said he had to relog. He was getting some lag. And yeah, I'm gonna quit out of this and restart and go play some more Icarus when my wife's ready. She just wanted to finish off a movie she was watching. Yeah, I had fun with a little statue thing. I don't know. I was gonna get rid of the center, but I decided to keep it. The center was an afterthought. Otherwise, I don't know. I liked how the stations came out. This one's a little radioactive. Yeah, this is all blueprinted. I had some fun making these blueprints. Then, of course, the train is all blueprinted and everything else. Most of the walls in this are blueprinted as well. Sorry, but I'm just waiting for Golf Guy to get back here. I think the stations came out pretty cool. The lighting on the top could have been a little better. But from a distance, they look pretty good. Like that red light, from a distance, it looks pretty good, but that's not really the effect I was going for, but that's okay. I like all the painting effects they give us now. With the chrome type, shiny. Looks pretty cool. This factory loads pretty good. Like once I get here and I hang out for a little bit, this one loads pretty good. And the basement's the same thing in this one. I don't remember whether I actually gave myself a way to get down there anymore. That's kind of funny. Been a while since I toured my own factory. Switch was broke. Oh wow, okay. Well, this is the factory floor. This makes enough fuel rods, right? Enough the uranium fuel rods. And then I bring The waste treatment plant I'll show you on the other side. And then that brings enough back into, I believe it's this one. Might actually have to show you downstairs. This is where the plutonium rods get heat sink. Yeah, plutonium fuel rods. So I make them here, and then they just get sunk. Right? Like, just basically get rid of them. And that gets rid of, all of your waste product. But I make enough fuel rods to, and the nuclear plant's only a third built. So everything's in the basement, right? Same concept. You know what I mean? That's all my logistics down here. Water, of course, but logistics. And then basement of the nuclear plant is the same thing. It's basically all water and a little bit of logistics down here. But it's all water. So the whole thing is piped, ready to go, right? I got like water on both sides, okay? And it's all ready to go. I'm not utilizing all of it because I only have... Oh, they changed them a bit too. Cool. Added a new bit of graphic in the front. Awesome. So anyways, so I've got fuel rods and no waste. Okay, so I'm taking care of all of the waste. It's going down to the basement. But I have 14 plants in a circle surrounding 4 of these power augmenters. Okay, but here's the thing. I have enough fuel rods to make another level up here. It's not running. This level's not running. You notice nothing's hooked up. And then I could do another one on top of this. So I could do 14, 14, and 14. And I have all the fuel rods for it. All that stuff's all ready. The water's all piped in. Everything's ready to rock and roll. I just have to get it running. One of my issues is waste. This isn't running at like peak, right? Like I can handle a lot more waste coming in on this. And then there's a line down here somewhere. There's a box. I did it under the water, and it's all like encased in this like concrete tube. You know what I mean? As it comes back. So, yeah, I'm not shoving very much waste out of here. This is the end product of all of this little dual platform here. That's the end product. So that's what waste turns into, right? With, all the concrete and everything else that's needed. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty big. Like I said, I calculated the factory floor to be 1 million. What's on the thumbnail? 1,042,000. And that does not include this part or the fuel factory. That's just the main factory. So, yeah. It's big, Golf Guy. It's big. And that's why I'm having issues. I think is because I went big. It was I want to see if I can build this kind of scenario. I'm up at, what was it again? This is, hang on, I gotta look this up now. I just finished making this, but I wasn't paying attention. Oh, come on, not responding. My machine does not like running this game. So I only have 32 streams. Subscription, thank you very much. Thanks for the sub. Duh. I built this in 32 streams. Was all it took me. Now, you know me, I stream for long periods of time, right? But yeah, I built her in 32 streams. And now I'm running into issues. I should actually include this part of the factory in my, it's 1 million square foot factory. Like I should include this part of it, but And I had all these plans, dude. I had all these things I wanted to do, all these things I wanted to build, things I wanted to set up. I was going to do like this suspension bridge thing over a portion of the water in the forest coming up here. I wanted to do, I'll show you I'll be sailing through it. But I wanted to do, there was a bunch of things I wanted to do. There was all sorts of things I wanted to do. And then I started running into lag problems. I'm hoping they get it fixed in the future so that I can keep building this factory. I'm going to keep the save. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get rid of the save. Like, no way. No thanks. You were rebooting, I think, when I took off on this. And then, of course, I have connections, like I just went through that one. That goes through a tunnel system, right, and goes to the other side. I'm not absolutely sure. That's supply for the nuclear plant. I have all the geothermals hooked up across the map board. The whole entire map board is discovered and explored on this one. I'd only built a small amount, though. You know what I mean? I have some favorite places that I like to go build, like anyone else. So this flat part coming up, this is where I wanted to build the bridge across this flat part. I wanted to build like a big suspension bridge holding on to the train and whatnot across this water expanse across here. Well, I'll basically call it a river. You know what I mean? Into a bay, whatever you want to call this. Yeah, I wanted to do like a big suspension bridge. It's never going to happen, unfortunately. Not at what's currently going on. I wish I could, but unfortunately, I built too big, I guess. I don't know. Too many parts, too many pieces. I don't know. I think I got too much running in the original factory. With all the evener systems that I'm running, like all the belt evener systems, I think I'm running too much. I think I got too much graphically going on. My next build, when this goes to 1.2, which it's supposed to in the new year here, sometime this year, I think, is they're talking about it. I'm going to build what I call a satellite factory, meaning I'm going to have like this thing being built over here. One of my 16-car trains going out to get filled up again. So I'm using a lot of the commodities that I'm bringing in. I'm going to build satellite factory, meaning I'm going to have, heavy modular frames here. Something else being built here. Something else being built here. Something else being built here. That kind of deal. And if I need to bring it to the main, then fine, no problem. I'll bring it to the main. Right. But if I don't, then whatever. I got rid of, like, this used to be, or it was the plan was to put an oil, whatchamacallit in here. And I put the kibosh on it, because trying to cut down on my lag. Because when this thing, oh man, if I had started out there somewhere and come back, when you hit this factory or this part of it, it's just nuts, man. The lag, the jittering and the rubber banding and everything that goes on, it's just, while it loads, it's just intense. But because I started here, it's a lot better. Yeah, huge evener systems to handle. I think I'm bringing in 14,000 iron ore per. Is it a per minute? Yeah, this one is per minute. Factorio is per second. This one's on a per minute basis. So I'm bringing in 14,000 iron ore a minute, and then smelting it all and delivering it all throughout the factory here on this level. So yeah, and it just goes on and on and on, dude. Like I said, I have a lot of fun with that. I really got to get my commodities down pat. Yeah, there you go, everybody. And yeah, you can see it. You know what I mean? As I go and as I move around my factory, it just starts to glitch. And I just, I'm not happy. I get it. I'm not downtroding the company. I mean, this is a rather large factory. But when the whole entire thing starts doing that twitchy thing, right? It's a little much. A little much. Anyway, everybody. Hey, hon. When are you ready? Okay. I'm done my tour. Yeah, I will. Golf, absolutely. You'll know because I'll start playing it, and then there'll be lots of people on it. And like I said, though, my mandate is no more of this. No more monster factories. If somebody wants to, hey, I'm going to go take care of heavy modular frames. Okay, great, fantastic. We might bring it back to a central warehouse hub. You know what I mean? Where everything's being warehoused. There's no drones running in this entire map, right? This was supposed to be drone central right here, right where that framework is. I started to build the next part of the factory when everything started to fall apart. Entire sections of this were disappearing. They're in there now, okay, but when I was building it, you can imagine that it would disappear. I would turn around to go do something, and this wouldn't be here. And I didn't know where I started and where I began, where my lines were, and I kind of got a little upset. Not totally rage quit mad, but you know what I mean? I'm like, oh no. I hit the max kind of deal. I'm like, yeah, I better, and I was hoping for updates is what I was hoping for. Oh, dude, like I said, I stopped building. I had this I was going to do drones. I was going to do, because you can see the big trains that I got coming in, right? 3 engines, 16 cars, or 15 cars or 16? 15 cars. I got 6 of these running on the map, right? And I go to the Titan Forest, that one's Titan Freight, number 2, right? So I got 2 trains going out to the Titan Forest to go pick stuff up. Is that where it is? Yeah, train station, main base build, Titan Freight Station. You know what I mean? So I got a huge 16-car train station sitting out in the Titan Forest that's bringing in all the commodities from the. I do put a pin on the map and then think of a big huge circle, and then I grab all the commodities within that circle and I bring it back to a central train station, and then 16 cars go out there twice. You know what I mean? One in, one out, one at one end, one at the other. You know what I mean? Time them out kind of deal. And and bring all the commodities in. And then this thing chews up. I really should do a per minute basis of what this place chews up max, not just iron ore. And I think where I ran into an issue was with my evener system. So I'm bringing in 14,000 iron ore per minute, right? That iron ore gets transferred into ingots. Still combing the area. Oh, Deathus. Okay, yeah. So anyways, and I'm running a per minute on each one of these belts. Now, what happens is any one of these, because of the evener system, any one of them can draw upwards of the full amount. Meaning, if you go the full amount of an MK5. I didn't go MK6 everywhere. I could, but I didn't. So 780 resources could be pulled out of one section of this line. But I think that's where I ran into a problem. My evener system is it works, right? And I do not have everything running on this factory. There was a time where each one of the output belts of this system, not each of them, but I think I got 15 coming in and I had 14 going out. Or no, maybe I got 15 going out. But I think some of them are not very aren't using very much. And then I had to shut a lot of this stuff off. So a lot of these belts aren't running at full capacity, which they should be. This factory was built to run at full capacity, and it's not, because I can't. The minute I have these belts running at full capacity, they start to mess up. The raw ore coming in, going into the smelter system, right? So here's the smelter system. 3 stories high, iron ore in, ingots out. I don't remember how many smelters I got running in here. A lot. And this is just iron ore, by the way. Right? So copper's being handled way in the distance down there. This is just iron ore. And it's, 3 banks, 4 high, 3 high, 4 high. No, 3 high, sorry. And then 1 at 2 high. And then copper is the same thing over there. And then each one of these runs into like a plate factory. Best way to show you the plate factory. So there's screws. And I'm not utilizing all of my screw outputs that I could be. Just about 8,000 ingots per minute being used. And that's currently, I could step that up. So the screw factory is here. And it's all housed within a building. Right? X amount high. Like what? 4 high? 5 high. And then that gets put into an evener system so that any one of these belts could handle 780 output. Even though the input may change and things may fluctuate, right? The evener system takes care of that. So that any output belt is, but I think that's where I ran into a problem, because I got too many belts running, too many things to run the evener. I got to rethink my evener system, I think, is my issue. But each one of these big buildings, right, that's what they do. That's the whole point behind them. The hotel, and then each one of these was going to be a themed building, by the way. So this was going to be my hotel. A bunch of balconies. They don't do anything, right? Doors and balconies that don't do anything. Yeah. I did a whole whatchamacallit on it. It does have merit. Okay. So this is the plates in, rods out. So this is the rod factory. This thing's just massive. Anyway, I had a lot of fun building this. So the evener system works off of this theory. Belt balancers. Where's my 3x3? The easiest way to explain it. Okay. So when you have 3 inputs, into this, right? The one input will go straight across. It'll go down 1. And then the other one will go up. So the easiest one is probably the middle. So the middle one goes straight across, right? It goes up 1, and then it goes down 1. Okay, so if you think of that on each one of these, each one of them goes to each one of the splitters goes to each one of the mergers. That way, when you come out the other end, if I've got, and Satisfactory, it's not like Factorio. When I put a minor block on a node in Factorio, each one of those miners is basically running at the same, basically. But you will eventually get the outskirts of it when it starts to eat away at the node, right? The outskirts of it, and then the node gets smaller and smaller. Anyways, that's why you need to have a belt balancing system in Factorio. That was the reason behind it, right? It was because your node, your miners and your lines aren't always going to be running at, say, I think this one's built on MK3s, right? So 270 per minute. Okay, I have other ones that are built on MK5s, and of course, right. So if the top one was, say, an impure node,
at MK1 15 per minute. And the next one was an MK2 at 30 per minute. And the other one was, a normal node, MK1, let's just stay at, no overclock. So no overclock, 30, 60, and 120. You could use this system, draw a belt off the middle, just one singular belt, and that belt will actually run at 120, 180, and 30, 220, 210. That one singular belt coming out of here could actually run at 210 because that's your input. Now, take that system, right? Hang on. How do I get to blueprint mode again? It's been a while. Anyway, so take that and multiply it by 15. Same system, same belting structure, same everything, except now, if you put a string enough of these along. Now, the problem is when you start to get 4 high, 5 high, 6 high, 7 high, 8 high, you actually have to go multiple of these to actually get it to even, which I think is where my problem is. I seriously, I think that's where my issue comes in, is trying to balance this input, you know what I mean? Where that input is different, or this output, you know what I mean? This output still only is attached to 3 of these lines, 3 of these splitters on the front side. So that one output is still only. So if I want to actually even this system, I need like 14 of these in a row so that the bottom one is actually transferred to the second from the top. You know what I mean? And that everything in between is evened out. Yeah, that's a horrible explanation. I did a really good one in a video that I did. And I mean, hey, some people agree with it and they see it and they're like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's just too big though. Like it's unwieldy. How I'm trying to remember how to. There's a way to get to blueprint mode. It's not the filter. There's a way to get to blueprint mode and delete the whole blueprint. I can't remember how to do it. Huh. I thought they had a button for that. Wouldn't it be down below? I don't actually mind the storage system, especially on a small, like if you're only going to do 3 belts, right? Using a storage isn't that horrible. You know what I mean? When you can do maybe 2 storages side by side, right? And then pull that through a 3rd storage out front, right? Have one line come to the top, one line go to the bottom of each of these. You know what I mean? And I mean, I've thought about this too. Well, I built these too close. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it's been so long, I forgot my controls. Oh, I was on. Okay, I am too close. But you could use a bottom one goes to there, top one goes to there. You know what I mean? 4 lines in, 2 lines out into 2 lines out because the other end of that one's got 2. You could do 4 of these into 2 and then 2 into 1. But now you're starting to look at real estate. It would work, absolutely, and you'd have a big buffer in between everything. One of the other things that the belt evener system does is that there's a lot of storage in these belts, meaning that each belt holds on to a certain amount of items. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain amount of stuff in each one of the belts. So it does have like this storage. How do I am now very intrigued. Satisfactory. Dismantle. Aha. Blueprint mode. Okay. I knew I was missing the button. 8 into a 3, but it worked. Yeah, just huge. Yeah. Like I said, the belt evener system does work. It's big and kind of gangly. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to it. The beginning of this is iron ore into the smelter system. Each one of these lines going up comes over and gets inputted into, and I don't even have the bottom 4, right? So they're empty. The bottom 4 are empty. So as you follow this along, right, those bottom 4 start to fill up. And now they're kind of equal. I'm going to say kind of. 204, 175, 147, 123. You know, and that also has a lot to do with the end of it. It wraps around, gets to here, wraps around, and keeps going down to this end. Right? I got to go under this. Wraps around again. And there was a math equation figured out. A friend of mine figured it out as to how many of these I would need in a row so that the bottom belt, right, any one belt is equalized to any other belt. And then it just depends on how much you want to draw. And as long as you don't draw more than 780 at MK5 on any one of these lines, and then as long as the total draw isn't over, because that's what happened to me with copper. So you'll notice that the iron is full. Those belts are full. Copper is not. Those belts are partially empty. I'm not bringing in enough copper. I started to draw too much. And this is what happens in this system when you draw too much copper. Okay, so that's the feed immediately off of the smelters. So I'm not getting enough ore. It's not a smelter problem. I have enough smelters. It's I'm not making, or I'm not bringing in enough copper ore. You'll notice that a lot of these lines are empty, whereas this one, you know what I mean? A couple of them are full because I'm not drawing as much. But then, yeah, I just can't keep up. But, okay, you'll notice that by the time it gets to the end of this evener system, and the problem is that I put an MK6 on here, and I'm drawing 727 per minute off of it, 966 per minute off of that one, right? 260, 260, 40, 23, 181, 206, 90. So these bottom ones aren't drawing as much. And as long as they're not drawing very much, the top line is actually able to keep up to 950 some odd per minute. And the only reason that works is because of the evener system. That's it. That's the only reason that works. Because otherwise, if I tried to draw 960 off of any one of these smelter lines, right? These are all MK5 into an MK3 in, right? And I really needed to upgrade all of this, by the way. Okay, like I fully know that I have to upgrade it. But any one of these singular lines can only handle 780. Even if it was full, even if I had, tons of whatchamacallit, right? Tons of let's just say I got tons of copper coming in. That was one project I had on my mind, is I had copper on the 4th train line, and I don't have any of it hooked up or nothing, but I was going to bring copper in on this line and then feed it over, bring it into and supplement the copper line. But the point behind the evener system was this can't run at 1022, 1018, 960 was where it was before. That cannot run off of 780 belts. Can't, right? Because you can only run 780. But on an evener system like this, I can run MK5, less construction, right? I could actually go MK3s are 270, so I'd actually have to go MK4. Okay, so an MK4 is 480. Multiply 480 times 3, and you can get this one belt up to 1440 running off of MK4 lines. You know what I mean? Because you got 3 lines coming into this merger, and then the line out can actually be these 3 belts at full. So you can actually pull 1440 off of an MK4 belting system. So it makes a lot of sense in the beginning, and then upwards into the, I'm going to say, mid game. Once you start getting into end game, this starts to make less sense, I'll be honest, because you can run MK6 belts, and you can run MK6 belts off of your smelting system. And then you don't need any of this because your MK6 belt will handle it. The only thing that comes in is when you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 belts running off of, let's just say I bring 3 belts off of the smelting system. Okay. So I got 3 levels of smelting. Let's just say all the outputs for each level is on 1 belt. Let's just say, okay, no problem. Then I have to split it between 9 other belts. How do I split that evenly? Well, I'm sure I could cut down a lot on what I did here, and maybe that would help out. Seriously, I know I can retool my whole entire factory. Do I feel like retooling my whole entire factory? No, I don't. I'll be honest. I don't feel like it. And that's why I'm running into an issue. And my problem with copper is very easily tracked. It's right down here. It's the fact that I got 3 good lines coming in the bottom, and I got 4 decent, but top ones not running anymore. So I've only got basically 4 full belts coming in, and I'm trying to feed a system that's just not, you know what I mean? It's just not. It's not able to keep up. It just isn't. It's evening it across the whole, you know what I mean? Like, it's keeping it as even as possible. It's just the slower belts back up and look good, and the faster ones that are eating it up, they don't look as good. But yeah, I don't know. It works on a small scale, I'll have to admit. Caterium might be an example. It works really well on the Caterium because I got 3 belts coming in, or do I got 4? Sorry, I got 4 belts coming in of Caterium. One off a train and others from wherever, right? And it evens it out and spits it out in 4 even lines, meaning each one of these lines can, suck back as much Caterium as they want, throw that into a smelting system, and then get 4 lines out of the smelting system to then go upstairs, feed that into a quick wire, and then bring it back down here to, even out the whole thing. So My factory does do a lot of ups and downs. I don't know whether I could have probably just run it downstairs, but I wanted to utilize the whatchamacallit. No. Yeah, I'm just going to try new methods of the next one. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I liked most of what happened in here, right? Like most of the actual factories are good. They work. This is all done on a blueprint system, by the way. So each section of 3 is very quickly built with a beam that has all the power. And then all I have to do is quickly just zap power between these 2 nodes and then run power off of the end up. You know what I mean? And then everything's all connected. So I liked the speed at which, because if I was to hand build this, each assembler, pipe it, power it, and then run. And by the way, the conveyor belts are all whatchamacallit as well. So I got the assembler, 3 assemblers and 6, 2 sets of belts, all done up on a blueprint. So I can just go plunk, 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 do my math, do a quick little bit of math, right? And figure out what I need, what I want, what I'm going to do for this section of factory or whatever. And then plunk it down. And I have the assemblers on that same system. I have constructors, assemblers, manufacturing plants. They're all done. Everything's all done on the blueprint system. So single production. And then I even got if I want steel beams or quick wire or whatever. And then I got some generics, depending upon if I just want to generically build. Double production, all on assemblers. And each one of these is a section. So inputs, outputs, all done, all ready to go. You know what I mean? And then smelting. And then I have a manufacturing plant somewhere in here. And then rail network, of course. Everything all blueprinted. Everything's all ready to go. Anyway, I'm going to let everybody go here. I meant to kind of do a big Christmas thing. Maybe I'll end off in the Christmas part of the plant. Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to adjust my thinking for the next. This was supposed to be streets in between all of these buildings. Like there were supposed to be streets in here. Alleyways, streets, maybe block up some and do, I don't know. I was going to do like markets or something in there. Just have fun in between each one of the buildings. And then things started going bad. So. But anyway. Yeah, I was hoping this snow would work a lot better. And it just doesn't. I mean, I'm sorry. That's weak. Like, really weak. I don't know about anyone else. That's weak. I have, yeah, it does. And I mean, I got snow going everywhere, and yet there's like no snow. And yet it used to be back in the day, and these got to start up before they'll go. Okay. But it was a winter wonderland just from this. Like it was a serious winter wonderland. You know what I mean? And that snow would fall all the way down to the factory floor. And it dissipates at what would you call it? 8, 10 meters, 12 meters? And so I slapped up, when I noticed that, I slapped up a bunch of the snowmakers. And even then, it's like, it's weak. I have everything cranked. Particle effects. Yeah, it was so much better before. It's unfortunate that they couldn't just give people with lesser machines a setting so that they can sit like this, so that people with higher end machines can have more, you know what I mean, and go back to the way we used to be. It's really a shame. I'm sorry. I consider it to be a shame on the company. I mean, I get it that there's people with lower end machines out there. No problem. You know what I mean? No issues. I've had a lower end machine when I played World of Warcraft. I actually had to take sound out of the game because my machine wouldn't run it, not with sound. So I had to go soundless through my rating and everything. People were amazed when they found out that I run with no sound. Like the game had no sound. I used a hack, and I hacked the client side of World of Warcraft, and I took sound out on my machine. It was kind of funny. I don't mean that I just turned the sound on. I mean I took it out. So anyways, so I do understand having like a lesser end machine that can't run it. But why should I be punished by this weak stupidity of snow? That looks like crap. I'm sorry. And like I said, I mean I've got it cranked. My my video, everything's on ultra far, ultra. I mean, maybe there's some settings that I can choose, and maybe I'm not, but you can't even tell that the roof even has snow in it anymore. Yeah, it's horrible. I'm sorry to the developers. I'm sorry, you guys suck. Like horribly, you guys suck. You want to turn it down for lesser machines, you go right ahead. Not a problem. Have the setting in there. But when I crank mine up, yeah, I'm sorry, I want to see snowfall. This should be a winter wonderland of just nonstop snow, and it's not. So anyways, my Christmas bitch. Anyways. Hey, everybody. I'm going to switch over to Icarus, a much better game. I mean, cough, cough. I love this game. I really do. It's a great game, everybody. Like, I really do love it. But I'm sorry. Ficsmas kind of pissed me off with the whole, what they've done. But hey, you know, whatever. I'm starting to get screen problems and everything else. So maybe if I turned my system down, maybe it would be better. But anyway, everybody, give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to switch over to Icarus and then start up new streams. Everybody, I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year, all the rest of that. Yeah, we'll talk to you in a little bit.